Hello, hi everyone. How are you doing? I'm guessing you're Isabella, right? Hi, Isabella. Hope you guys are doing okay today and hope your day was good. Today we'll be having direct and indirect objects, of course, from grade 6. First, what you need to do is log in using the aplusstudent.com. After that, you click on your name here, language art, grade 6. And then we will go to direct and indirect objects. Okay, hi guys. Okay, so we have, is it a direct object or an indirect object? Okay. Okay, so I will just give the explanations. All right, so the first is the direct object. You need to note the definition of the direct object. You need to know what the direct object is all about. A direct object is the pronoun, noun, or noun phrase that receives the action of a verb. So take note, the pronoun, noun, or noun phrase that receives the action of the verb. To find the direct object in a sentence, locate the action verb and ask what or whom it is acting on. Okay, so the most important part first is to locate the action verb. Of course, we know what action verbs are. So after we find that, we would say what or whom is it acting on. Now, first we say Jane admires her neighbor. Now, admire here is the action verb. So now you would either say what or whom. So, whom does Jane admire? She admires her neighbor. Okay, so her neighbor is the direct object in this sentence. So it's very easy. You just have to first identify the action verb and then you say that, oh, what is it's acting on or whom is it acting on? And you can find the direct object. So just like this, Jane admires her neighbor. Admire action verb and then whom does Jane admire? Her neighbor. So her neighbor is the direct object in the sentence. Charlie baked a cake. Charlie baked a cake. So now you ask yourself, what is the action verb here? Baked, right? So what did Charlie bake? What did Charlie bake? You would say a cake. So the cake that Charlie baked is the direct object in the sentence. Okay? Now we have that some verbs that have a direct object can also have indirect objects. So when we have direct, we also have indirect. An indirect object is the pronoun, noun, or noun phrase that receives the direct object of a verb. So the indirect object receives the direct object of a verb. The indirect object always appears in between a verb and its direct object. So in the middle, where you have the verb and the direct object, that's where you have the indirect object. To find the indirect object in a sentence, you need to locate the action verb and its direct object. So now, as we've already located the verb and the direct object, we will now find the indirect. So once we've located the action verb and the direct object, we would say to whom or to whom the direct object is being given to whom or to whom the direct object is being given, or for what or for whom the action is being performed. So now, to what or to whom is the direct object given to, or for what or for whom is the action being performed on. Okay? So now we say Charlie baked a cake, his mom a cake. Okay? So Charlie baked his mom a cake. Now we found out that the direct of the verb here is the baked, and then over here realize that what the cake is the direct object. So if we have verb here baked, direct object cake, so for whom did Charlie bake the cake for? So he baked the cake for his mom. So Charlie's mom is the indirect object. Now be careful not to confuse an indirect object with an object of preposition. Object of preposition is different from indirect object. An object of preposition is a noun, pronoun, or noun phrase that comes directly after a preposition, such as, to, for, in, under, or during. Now we say that Charlie baked a cake for his mom. Here, his mom is an object of preposition, not an indirect object. You can tell because his mom comes directly after the preposition for. Alright? And because it does not appear in between the verb baked and the direct object cake. So there are different ways that the sentence will come. When the sentence comes in those ways, you can differentiate the object of preposition, direct and indirect object. Okay, so now let's look at the examples. Is the word in bold a direct object or an indirect object? So we have for Chinese New Year, my aunt cooks us traditional pork dumplings. Now, what is the right one? Is it direct or indirect? So it says that it is indirect. Okay? Is the word in bold a direct object or an indirect object? The movie gave me nightmares for weeks. The movie gave me nightmares for weeks. So now, me is the indirect object of the verb give. It answers the question, to whom did the movie give nightmare? So it gave it to me. Now, is the phrase in bold direct or indirect? The pie shop owner happily baked Carly a fresh blackberry pear pie for her party. Now, what is the verb here? The verb is baked, right? So now, to whom? What did they bake for Kylie? A fresh blackberry pie. Okay, so it's a direct object. So let's look at some more examples. Is the phrase in bold a direct object or indirect? At our favorite Italian restaurant, my father always orders us an extra cannoli for dessert. So this is a direct object. Kimmy owns Lavender $20 for last night's dinner. So what is this one? This is what indirect, because Lavender is the indirect object of the verb owes. It answered the question, to whom does Kimmy own $20? Okay, so we move on to the test now. I want you all to send in your answers. Let's interact. Okay, make sure you send in your answers. So we'll start with the first. Oh, okay. This was the first question that we just got through, so it's indirect. Everybody, please send in your answers. Is the phrase in bold a direct object or an indirect object? Farmers often feed their dairy cattle high protein alfalfa hay. So, what's the answer here? Direct or indirect? Send on the chart your answers. Is it direct or indirect? Hello, everybody. So, what's our answer to this question? Two. Okay. So, let's go with two from Bella. Okay, so now this is a direct object I will explain. Now, farmers often feed their dairy cattle high protein alfalfa hay. Now, this says that feed is the verb. Okay, feed here is the action verb, and then it says to whom does the farmers feed the high protein alfalfa hay? It will be to their dairy cattle. Okay, so they're feeding it to their cattle. All right. Okay. Yes. Option one is the correct one. So you guys take notes. It says who. Okay. So the direct object is the correct answer because the verb is feed and then they feed it to the cattle. Okay. Okay. So this one. Everybody, please participate. Send in your answers. Is the phrase in bold a direct object or an indirect object? Mimi offered an elderly man her seat on the bus. So, direct or indirect? So, is this direct or indirect? Let's see your answers, guys. So, what will be our answer here? So, now offered is the verb, and then Mimi is the direct object. So, this should be the indirect object, okay? Because she's offering it to the elderly man, okay? Yeah, option two is correct. Ryan sent his aunt a thank you card for her thoughtful graduation gift. So, what's the right answer here? Is it direct or indirect? Direct or indirect? Okay, so what's our answer for this one? Okay. Ryan sent his aunt a thank you card for her thoughtful graduation gift. So, sent is what? The verb. Okay, so sent will be the verb, and then Ryan the direct object. To whom did he send the card to? He sent it to his aunt. Okay, so if he sent it to this aunt, you have to figure it out. So let's say for example we clicked on this. Usually there's like explanation to like get the correct answer, but that's fine. So let's say we click on the wrong answer and we cannot understand why. So now let's look at it here. Sent is what? The verb, the action verb, okay? And Ryan is the one who sends the card, okay? So to whom was the card sent to? The aunt. Okay. So usually when we have like the direct or indirect, the indirect is like in between like the direct and then the action verb. So if you want to know if it's your indirect or not, you have to make sure that you figure out the direct first before you can figure out the indirect. So what's our answer here for page 5? Mm-hmm. Yes, option 1. So Bobby caught us a huge catfish for lunch. Is it direct or indirect? What's the right answer here? Okay, 1. Okay, let's go with 1, direct. Good. The yoga instructor taught the beginners a few basic poses. So is it direct or indirect? So what's this one? Is this one direct or indirect? Mm-hmm. Let's see your answers, guys. Mm-hmm. Direct objects. Okay. So now we got direct object and this is incorrect. Now let's look at the right explanation here. The beginners is the indirect object of the verb taught. It answers the question, to whom did the yoga instructor teach a few basic poses? So the yoga instructor there is the direct object and taught here now is the verb. So if you say, to whom did he teach? He taught it to the beginners. Okay. So this one, Devon sent her grandmother a postcard from Chicago. What's our answer here? So what will our answer be here? Mm-hmm. So what will be option 1? Okay. Rest of you sending your answers. Mm-hmm. More opinions. She's our substitute. Exactly. Thanks, Isabella. So, option 1. Alright, great. For Chinese New Year, my aunt cooks us traditional pork dumplings. Is it direct object or indirect? What's the answer here? So, is this direct or indirect? So, what's the answer for this one? Okay. What's our answer here? Option 2. Mm-hmm. All right. So the salesman offered his customers a discount. The salesman offered his customers a discount. Is it direct or indirect? Direct or indirect? So what's this one? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So option two. Okay, let's see if option two is correct. So this isn't correct because the offered here is the verb, and then to whom did he give the discounts to? His customers. All right. The trainer at the gym showed Brett a simple exercise routine. So, yeah, okay. What's the right answer for this one? So, what's this one? What's the answer to this one? No, that's fine. It's okay. So, what's the answer to this one, guys? Let's all participate. It's okay, we're all learning, whether we have a mistake or not. Option one. All right, let's see. All right, good job. The University of Milford gave adjourned funding for his research project. The University of Milford gave adjourned funding for his research project. So, what's gonna be the right one? Direct, indirect, or neither? Which one? Which is the right one here? Okay. Hey. Okay. Let's see if A is the correct answer. Good job, Isabella. At our favorite Italian restaurant, my father always orders us an extra cannoli for dessert. What's the right answer here? Okay, so this one. Okay, so option one. Good. Every summer, Mr. Rodolfo serves local benchgoers ice cream for the boardwalk. Indirect or direct? So direct or indirect? Mm-hmm. Good. All right. What's the answer here? Option two. Okay, let's go. The movie gave me nightmares for weeks. Direct or indirect? It's okay, Michael. So, what's our answer here? Direct or indirect? Okay. Two. Good. This one. What's the right answer here? Craig sent his aunt a thank you card for her thoughtful graduation gift. Okay. All right. Next one. What's the answer here? Mm-hmm. Waiting for the answers. One. Good. And then this one says the pie shop owner happily baked Carly a fresh blackberry pie for her party. Michael, you need me to explain this lesson we're doing? So, what's the answer to this? Mm-hmm. What's the answer to this? One. Okay. The bank loaned Riley money for her new advertising business. This one? What's the answer? What's the answer here? What's the right answer for this one? Okay. Yes. Two. Indirect. All right. The last question. The poster clerk handed me a certified letter. The poster clerk handed me a certified letter. Last one. So what's the last answer here? Okay. Two. All right, let's see. Okay, good job, everyone. So that's it for like the direct and indirect. If you haven't done this lesson yet, you can try to complete this lesson on your own later on, and then you finish up with the final test. But let me know on the chat, guys. Do you have any questions? I don't have the final test. Sadly, I don't have the final test because it's in progress somewhere wrong. So I cannot have the final test, Elmer, else we would have done that. But when you do yours, make sure you do the final test. Do you have a question for this lesson? Do you have any question, guys? You can ask me. So let's see. Do you have a question? No question. Okay. So you can make sure that you do the final test on your own. For now, that's it. But the rest of you, if you have any question, you can ask me. I'm here. Okay, no question for you. The rest of you, if you have any, you can ask me before we finish. I respond. So, I'm guessing no questions, right? Okay, so see you guys. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna see you guys next time, I guess. Do have a good night, everyone. Bye.